Patience is a virtue. The thin controller held a letter in his hand. 6 little engines watched him anxiously. Do you remember your twin Talyllyn? He asked Skarloey. He is ill, so his controller is short of an engine. Now, I can't spare anyone until Duke is mended, but I want to suggest to him that one of us might... Oh, sir, please, sir, cried the engines excitedly. The thin controller held his ears. You can't all go, he laughed. I thought... Sir Handel. Oh, sir, said Sir Handel happily. A few days later, Duke was taken to the works. Sir Handel's excitement grew and grew. I hope he comes back quickly, he said to anyone who would listen. Don't be so impatient, his driver laughed. There's a lot to be done first. Your repairs took a long time, remember, and Duke is quite a bit older than you. The weeks passed, and still Duke didn't come back. Sir Handel became more and more impatient. One day he was waiting with some carriages at the bottom station when Gordon arrived. I've been invited to Wales, Sir Handel told him, in an important tone of voice, but I can't be spared until Duke is mended. Quite right, said Gordon. It's a special responsibility being indispensable. Gordon says I'm, insensible, Sir Handel boasted to the others. They were amused, but not impressed. Summer came and crowds of visitors came to the railway. Sometimes extra coaches were needed to carry all the people. One day, Sir Handel's train was fuller than ever. When he reached the top station, he was quite exhausted. An enormous crowd was waiting on the platform for the last train home. They must have come on earlier trains and stayed to picnic by the lake, said the fireman. Never mind, we'll manage all right. It's all downhill from here on. But at the station near the waterfall, the platform was full too. We need a shoehorn to get them all in, exclaimed the guard, scratching his head. Still, we'll have to do it somehow. Some of the passengers can travel with me in Beatrice. The passengers had enjoyed their day in the hills and didn't mind standing if it meant they could get home. They knew it would be for only a short while, and Sir Handel would try hard to get them to Henry on time. The guard always checked tickets at the station by the waterfall. Today it was a long job, and before he had even half finished, Sir Handel was growing impatient. An insensible engine like me shouldn't keep Henry waiting like this, he fumed to his driver. Can't be helped, replied the driver. Henry will just have to wait. He's kept us at it before now. At last the guard was ready. He blew his whistle, waved his green flag, and turned towards Beatrice. At last we're off. Do come along. At last we're off. Do come along, Sir Handel snorted impatiently. Quickly the train began to move. The guard tried to board Beatrice, but her doorway was blocked by passengers. By the time they had moved to let him in, the train was out of the station and the guard was left on the platform, jumping up and down in frustration as the train shoved quickly away. Beatrice tried to stop, but there was no one to put her brakes on. The guard blew his whistle and waved a red flag, but the line curved and Sir Handel couldn't see or hear him. Luckily, one of the passengers knew what to do. He pressed a button and a buzzer sounded in Sir Handel's cab. His driver braked hard and Sir Handel ground to a halt. Now what? The driver asked the fireman. Go and find out. Maybe we've left someone behind. They had, of course. They soon discovered who it was. Some passengers helped the guards to get aboard, and after a fast run Sir Handel's train reached the terminus at the same time as Henry. Sir Handel stopped with a sigh of relief. The guard came along the platform to see him. "I'm sorry I was impatient, Mr. Guard," said Sir Handel nervously. "I didn't want to be late bringing Henry's passengers. Insensible engines shouldn't be late, should they?" "No," agreed the guard, "but sensible engines know that patience is a virtue. Remember that next time." "I'll try," promised Sir Handel sadly.